One that got paid in San Francisco. You still got my man Stafford in there. Sam Darnold up in Seattle. So you got all these different quarterbacks vying for. Let's see what happens in that division this year.
Add Kyler in too. What do you got, Mike?
I'm going to go with the best quarterback in the division, the aforementioned Brock Purdy that D-Way just met.
The best quarterback.
The best quarterback. And let me tell you why.
Good morning, Stafford.
Last year he was third in yards per attempt, seventh in QBR. And you think about what Saquon Barkley's impact was in Philadelphia, taking nothing away from Jalen Hurts, who's a great player. But outside of Barkley, Christian McCaffrey can do all those things for this offense. I believe in Ricky Pearsall. At some point, they're going to get Brandon Ayuk back. Juwan Jennings is there. George Kittle still has a couple good years. So I think they have great weapons, a great play caller in Kyle Shanahan. I think Trent Williams still has a year or two left. So give me a great offensive line, second best running back, great play caller, and I think Brock Purdy is an ascending quarterback, taking nothing away from Stafford's career. I just think one's going up, the other's going down.
Yeah, now, listen, for me, you talk about Brock Purdy in the offense. I go on the defensive side for the 49ers. They've had kind of what they call a brain drain on the defensive side of football. A lot of guys that graduated from the program moved on.
Buckner, Armstead,
a lot of talent. A lot of talent moved on from the defensive side. Their first 4 draft picks on the defensive side of football. And oh, by the way, they bring back an old friend in Robert Saleh to revitalize that defense. So listen, Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, we talk about those guys. But to me, if the 49ers are going to be the 49ers that we've been accustomed to talking about, it's going to be the defensive side that needs to get going.
Okay, Harry Douglas, your biggest storyline in the NFC West this season.
Well, let me go to the most favorite position on a football field. That's going to be the wide receiver position. And when we look at the
most overpaid, I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry.
You need them. When I look at Matthew Stafford and who he has to throw to this season, it definitely could be magical. Now, my number one wide receiver duo in the country, that's going to be Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Yep.
Puka Nacua and Davante Adams have the opportunity to be the second best duo from a wide receiver perspective this season. When you look at Puka Nacua, the guy who no one motions more than him, no one, blocks better than him. When you talk about inside zone and that whole 9, he does the dirty work. A guy that you can give speed sweeps to. He makes the contested catches. He can run routes. He's going to go across the middle. And then you have the savvy veteran in Davante Adams and what he brings to the table. And I love their relationship and how Davante Adams is showing Puka Nacua little things that he learned and he's done in his career. So just sharpening each other's game. When I look at this duo, they have the ability to be the second best in the NFL this season.
Yeah, that's a fair point. The only concern you have about someone like Matthew Stafford is you're already hearing things like, well, his back's tight. We're going to manage him a little bit in camp. We're in July, guys, and we want those great duos to be playing well in January, which is like forever for now, right? So to me, one of the things when we're looking at trajectory, who's best, who's going to surprise, I think about where are we today? We're going to be in November. That's why I'm a little bit higher on the Jets, for example. And I think Brock Purdy.
Can I throw a name out that we haven't even mentioned, not once? You said it briefly. As much as we talk about Minnesota moving on from him, Seattle paid Sam Darnold big money. And Seattle was a good team last year. They were 1 game away from the playoffs. I think the Darnold thing is a very underrated storyline entering this season. Mike McDonald was a superstar head coach out of the gates. Second season with him, they have a new offensive coordinator. And you look at what Darnold's receiving room with Smith and Jigba, and they've got all these different players at different sizes that can use. I really think Sam Darnold getting finally the love and getting paid by one of these teams and not one of these Band-Aid deals is an interesting little wild card in that division.
Can I point out one thing with Seattle? To me, the key up there is their offensive line.
Okay.
They got to get that unit. They poured in resources in that unit. That unit has to play better because they haven't been playing well in the past.
Cooper Kupp, if anything left?
Yeah, look, maybe you could squeeze a year out of him. And you're right. To me, Sam Darnold has earned the right. I thought Chris Ballard said something very interesting. Similar, he was talking about Anthony Richardson's development, but Darnold's in that Geno Smith sort of Baker Mayfield conversation. It doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. So he has earned it. It's a really fair point. I think they're a team that's going to be hard to beat, assuming that Sam Darnold plays the way he did in Minnesota and doesn't turn over.
Pete, I want to go back to something that Mike T said, that he talked about, Brock Purdy being the best quarterback in the division. I'm going to pose a question to Mike T. If you had 1 game to win, Who would you pick? Would you pick Brock Purdy or Matthew Stafford?
Probably Stafford.
Okay.
Right, but
There's no probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stand on it. Don't fix it. It
Did
will
Roger
be Matthew
Goodell
Stafford.
text you or something?
No, I'm just saying.
We're playing 17 games,
I
right?
mean, you said it like with your, with your chest out. You said it with your chest out that Brock Purdy was the best quarterback in the division, but here you are picking Matthew Stafford if you had to play one game.
Okay, but if the different question is you need to play 17 games and you have to do a playoff thing, would you take Purdy over Stafford in that scenario?
I'm taking Purdy, absolutely.
Younger?
Yeah, ascending.
Make the case, because I think everyone at home is like, Stafford's a made man and Purdy's not.
Right. One guy is dealing with back tightness in July. The other one has all. And look, Stafford's had a great career with incredible talent, with a great head coach. But when you look at what San Francisco should be able to do this year, they're going to get better. I think Pearsall is very underrated, and we forget about the greatness of McCaffrey. He's going to be a force multiplier as well.
So I want to go back towards Sam Darnold for a second, right? I think Clint Kubiak is very important in this talk. How much can you protect him with that run game? You know, those two guys have a relationship. They were together in San Francisco. The system is not too far off from what they ran with the Minnesota Vikings. Probably a little bit. They want to be more run happy though. But for Sam Darnold going from throwing to Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, and having Aaron Jones, that is a massive jump, in my opinion, to where he's going in Seattle and who he's going to be throwing to.
I think Kupp, Smith and Jigba, Kenneth Walker in the backfield, I think they're pretty good on offense.
Well, compared to what Sam Darnold just had, like how far of a jump do you think that is?
You know what's really interesting? Like, there's another quarterback in this division.
Let's talk Kyler.
For first pick overall.
What do you think?
And what should be a superstar, Marvin Harrison.
I'm tired of waiting.
Well, no, listen.
I'm tired of waiting.
I've already said that
Truly
Arizona.
an afterthought of an afterthought. I was like, Darnold's the afterthought. Kyler is the afterthought of the afterthought.
Which I think is unfair. I think the Arizona Cardinals are a sleeper team in that division because when you look at it, you look at the tight end, McBride. Trey McBride's one of the best tight ends that we have in our game. The run game that they had with James Conner was one of the best run games in the National Football League. And oh, by the way, the receiver?
Yeah, Marvin Harrison?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's going to be a lot better. I think they're going to feed him a lot more this year.
17 games. See, I don't want to see it for 9 or 10 or 11. I want to see it for a duration of the entire season. I want to see you go here. I don't want to see you go here, then here, then here, then here, then here if you're Kyler Murray. So, I've called a couple of their games last season.
Yeah.
I want to see them get better and steady incline.
Kyler, if you're watching, you're the afterthought of the afterthought. Prove everybody wrong at home.